Padma Inverted is an anime movie that was released on November 9th, 2013, written and directed by Yasuhiro Yoshiura, who is also the creator of EVE Online and Pale Cocoon. If you haven't seen Pale Cocoon, it's an anime short that packs more world building and information in 20 minutes than other anime can do in 12 episodes. Most people haven't heard of Pale Cocoon, which is understandable since it's a short that was never really advertised, so why would you go out of your way to watch it? But Padma Inverted is a movie that had advertising and great animation quality and writing backing it. So let me tell you about the story. We start with a cold open, where we hear scientists talking while buildings in the background begin to float up. Then we cut to Padma, exploring what seems to be some sort of underground structure, where she eventually goes back to what seems to be an underground city. This is where we meet her guardian, who is the city's chief, and he says something like,
"Exploring outside is dangerous. We are mole people."
and Padma responds with,
"It's not a phase, Dad. I don't want to be a mole person."
"Well, I'm taking away your dirt-eating privileges. Well then, more dirt for me."
Anyways, then out of rebellion, she goes back outside where she runs into a plague doctor who is hanging on the ceiling trying really hard to cosplay a bird. Padma then falls down a big hole to escape, where she awakes on the bottom where she goes exploring, and oh my god, she's upside down. Holy shit, Padma is inverted. Roll the credits. But in all seriousness, she almost falls to her death, where Age saves her. Now, Age is the male lead in this movie. This is also our first glimpse at just how weird this concept is. Age is never really in any danger, while Padma is constantly at the point of falling to her death. Age then leaves her in a shed, since he has to go back to school, and Padma says, "Will you come back for me?" And Age responds by saying yes, and then busting it down sexual style, of course. Now we get to see the world that Age lives in. If I had to sum it up, he lives in a world run by a cult where the head master of the cult is Hitler. Now you think I'm exaggerating, but this guy also wants to purge an entire race of people. I mean, they even give him Hitler's actual gun. Like, come on man, this is a bit too on the nose, wouldn't you say? But the cult believes that they are the true humans, and all humans with reverse gravity, aka Padma, are being punished by God and all need to be released to the sky to suffer God's wrath. Now after a school day where Age is punished for wanting to touch grass, literally, I kid you not, this scene is so confusing to me. He looks outside for a second instead of keeping his head down like the other students, and they're like, "You want to touch grass?" And he's like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, fuck that shit, bro. Fuck that shit, bro. You gotta look down. Play your video games, bro. Play some Tetris. Don't look outside. That's bad." Then after his school day, he goes back to Padma where they watch the stars together. This is where Padma learns that even in something terrifying, there can be beauty. Isn't that just such a good life lesson? And then the next day, Padma and Age are tracked down since there are security cameras watching them, of course, because it's a cult, am I right? But Age is trying to help Padma get back to her home, where FBI agent number 1 uses a netball to capture them. The cult leader then locks up Padma and then steps on Age's face. This is where we learn that Age's dad wanted to explore the stars, and right as he set out on his expedition, he died. We also learn that Padma's father figure was killed by the cult leader. Age then goes down the hole and becomes a temporary mole person and gets help to save Padma. After some Mission Impossible bullshit, they make it to her and then get held at gunpoint, where they decide to die together instead of living without each other. While they are falling, they then find out that the sky is fake and end up landing on what seems to be man-made. While they're here, Age realizes how scary it is for the sky to be something you could die from. He then realizes how amazing it is that Padma just lets her life rest in his hands. Then they talk about how much they love each other and make out. Off screen. What the fuck? Finally, before returning to Earth, they discover Age's dad's flying machine and find out that the cult leader killed his dad, and that Padma's father figure helped Age's dad make the machine. They go back to Earth and escape back to the mole people. Cult leader decides to follow with FBI agent number 1, where he almost kills Age and Padma. Luckily, FBI agent realizes that he's actually a part of the FBI and not a cultist, and helps Age unalive the cult leader by sending him into orbit. Yes, that's right. Big buildup. Padma's people were not actually mole people. It was actually Age's people who were mole people, and Padma's people decided to become mole people to help the other mole people. But then Age's people were like, nope, we don't want to be mole people. What a douchebag. And they all live happily ever after. The end. Roll credits. But wait, with all this praise I'm giving it, you're probably wondering, why have I never heard of this anime before? Well, if you look at what other anime movies released in 2013, we have the Anohana movie, the Steins Gate movie, Garden of Words, aka Foot Fetish the Anime, and even The Wind Rises? Like, what the fuck? How is this movie even supposed to compete in 2013? These are all movies that are backed by better-known studios and creators. Also, anime movies releasing in American movie theaters was still pretty foreign at the time, besides the occasional Dragon Ball movie. Also came out in 2013. Padma Inverted was enjoyed by the people who watched EVE Online, and well, that ain't much. But Padma Inverted is not like other anime movies. It's not like the other girls. Sorry. Unlike other animes like My Neighbor Totoro with fun animation matched with fun storytelling, or like Your Name, an in-depth story about a relationship with an insane soundtrack and animation behind it. Padma Inverted is a movie that doesn't really excel past these other movies except for a couple concepts such as world building and foreshadowing, which if you think about it, why would you watch this movie? Most people don't pay attention to one single part of a story like world building, when all other parts of the story are average when comparing them to other popular anime movies. Padma Inverted, even though being mediocre in some aspects, still has very unique storytelling. And it's not even as average as I'm making it out to be. The villain, you want to hate him so much. I kid you not. You want this guy dead at every point you see him in the fucking movie, man. Which in turn makes him such a well-made villain. And the world building is better than all other anime in general. Screw One Piece, man. I can say this since I'm a certified One Piece simp. Padma Inverted has the best world building in anime, with some of the most amazing foreshadowing I have ever seen. It's a shame that more people don't talk about it and, well, watch it. Padma Inverted is an amazing movie that I would recommend to anyone, so go watch it now. You can watch it on Prime Video. Speaking of Prime Video, nah, this video doesn't have a sponsor. But I do want to ask you to subscribe. Subscribe, Mr. B. I do want to ask you to subscribe since I'm trying to do this for a living and it would really help my channel. Also, like the video if you enjoyed and comment something below since I read the comments and I'm interested in what you have to say. And well, that's all for me this week. Peace out, everybody.